Y'all ever played a Flash game before? Super Mario 63 is a Flash game developed in 2009 by Runno. It is known by many as the best Flash game ever made, and I'm inclined to agree with them, and that's saying something. EVF4 is standing right there. Though, despite that, I don't really see too many people review the game. Well, that makes sense, it's over a decade old, but like, I don't see people reviewing it at all when just looking it up and scrolling through YouTube. Though that might just be because it's YouTube, but whatever. I want to contribute to this game's legacy and talk about it myself and review everything in the game. Yeah, I want to talk about it. That's all I have to say about the video. On to the video. Wait. Super Mario 63 begins with the Toads and Princess Peach setting up a party for Mario since this is the anniversary of Bowser's first defeat. Though, like the uninvited guest he is, Bowser swoops in and crashes the party, blows up everything, and then destroys the Shine Sprite orb that lights up the entire Mushroom Kingdom, I guess. Also, Mario is knocked out by Kamek and was just laying out there for 7 hours while everything was just happening. Anyway, so all the Shine Sprites have been scattered everywhere. Mario wakes up and he meets this little toad named Eddie, and Eddie tells him to take a Shine Sprite that conveniently landed outside of the castle and take it to the orb and to repair it. And then Eddie tells you to collect the rest of the Shine Sprites to repair the orb of Shine Sprites and to save the world and Princess and everything, and that's the objective of the game. Collect 64 Shine Sprites and stop Bowser. Well, actually, you just need 32 Shine Sprites, but whatever. Anyway, we can finally talk about the game now. This game takes heavy inspiration from obviously Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. The main hub of the world is a 2D version of Peach's Castle from Super Mario 64, and the main tools that you're going to be using is FLUDD. And also, the movement of the game is akin to Super Mario 63, and the controls are also sort of mapped out weirdly. A lot of times I just have a hard time learning new controls, but down being dive and ground pound being Z is a little confusing, and the dive is pretty uncontrollable, and when my arrow keys look like this, I know this is just a me problem and not a problem with the game, but I still had a problem with accidentally diving when I meant to jump. Also, turning too quickly in quick succession makes Mario spin a little bit, and this will continue until you stop strafing. That's also a little bit of a problem when I'm trying to make minor adjustments. Still a me thing. I don't think it's a problem for anyone else, but still a thing to point out. Also, that way of spinning is not particularly useful, as you can just press X and that's also the spin button. Now, it might sound like this game is a pain to play, but actually it's the opposite, because once you get used to the controls, this is one of the most satisfying 2D platformers I have ever played. Who knew that the only way to make Mario Sunshine good was to turn it into a 2D platformer? Though I don't know if this is intended, but a lot of this game is focused on getting through the whole level as fast as possible. At least that's the most fun way I found to play it. A lot of the mechanics and level layouts lend itself well to going through as much of the level as quickly as possible, and it's really satisfying when you go through large stretches of sections of the level. It's great. And diving complements the momentum as it gives you a quick burst of speed, and if you land on an enemy while diving, it gives you a quick horizontal boost. The speed can quickly get out of control if you hit multiple enemies in succession, and especially if you have other nozzles equipped, but we'll get to that later. This game is a very fast-paced platformer, and that's funny to think about considering that most of the time, if you played it back in the early 2010s, you would be lagging a lot running this game on like 10 FPS on a school computer. And also, I have to say, this game did a pretty good job at optimization, at least the best it could do. Each level has different segments to sort of mimic a 3D environment by going off one screen and entering another, which is just a different part of the level. I'd like to imagine that exists for optimization, but it also does work as feeling like Mario is in a 3D environment in 2D. Another cool thing is that Mario can carry momentum from one screen to another, and that's really funny in some circumstances when you're trying to get to one area but you keep getting bounced back. It has happened. It makes Hazy Maze Cave a little bit of a pain to navigate, but it's fine. I should probably talk about the levels themselves as well. Like the movement being inspired by Super Mario Sunshine, Sunshine, the levels themselves and world overall are inspired by Super Mario 64. A lot of the levels are just 2D versions of Super Mario 64 levels, though a lot of the level design has been heavily altered to sort of match a 2D playstyle, but the structures from Mario 64 levels are still there, like the giant snowman in Cool Cool Mountain and the swirly mountain from Bob-omb Battlefield, and most of Tall Tall Mountain is still intact from its 64 version, just flattened. It is interesting to see how 63 got heavily inspired from 64 and sort of warped the 64 maps in its own way. It's interesting to think about and look at. I won't talk about it anymore though, but it's a cool thing to look out for if you do play this game. Another cool thing this game likes to do is have small platforming with enemies everywhere, so whenever you're trying to do regular platforming, you'll bump into a bunch of enemies just everywhere. It's not too big of a deal in the first few courses, but later down the line you will get pretty annoyed by how many Goombas and Fly Guys are just blocking your way, and you just have to spam X and hope the hitboxes connect. And also, the hitboxes are extremely annoying in this game. I get that this is a Flash game and Flash games are known for having pretty quirky hitboxes, but it is so bad sometimes in Super Mario 63. I couldn't explain it, but like, look at the footage of Mario spinning around and hitting things so far away from him, or just getting hit by things really far away from him. I don't understand the physics, and I wish I did. I would love to see what the hitboxes look like. Now, I would love to talk about more parts of the platforming and how it can get completely shredded in half by the next nozzles, but we have to give a little update on the story. So, Mario goes through Bowser in the Dark World and defeats him, and then Mario gets teleported into the next tutorial area, where he gets the rocket nozzle and the turbo nozzle, both in the same tutorial. I sort of wish that you got some time to use each of them individually, but I'm not complaining. The turbo nozzle and the rocket nozzle complement each other very well, and the rocket nozzle just completely breaks all platforming in this game, just ever. It's so insane. I'll get into it. So you know how in Super Mario Sunshine, the rocket nozzle sort of gives you a quick burst up, directly up, and it doesn't shoot you up too high, but it shoots you up pretty decently high up. The rocket nozzle in Super Mario 63 is a literal rocket, and the rocket nozzle shoots up whichever way it's facing. So if it's facing up, it goes up. If Mario is diving, it shoots Mario horizontally, giving him an extremely fast burst of speed, even faster than the turbo nozzle. And by the way, it instantly starts up when you activate it, and it makes you go way faster and costs a lot less water to use. And you know how diving gives you a horizontal boost when you land on an enemy? Well, this also applies to the enemies too, so you can just go flying across the entire screen if you have a good lineup of enemies. And this is best represented in Tall Tall Mountain when there's a bunch of Goombas, Fly Guys, and Paracoopas. It is very funny to fly across the entire map with just the rocket or turbo nozzle, so I am glad they're packed together, and also the tutorial that shows you that how they work can be completely busted with the rocket nozzle, and really, everything in this game is completely busted by the rocket nozzle. It gives you so much vertical and horizontal mobility that you literally do not need anything else. Is it possible to beat Mario 63 without FLUDD? No, objectively not. This is the best. There's a reason why you don't immediately get the rocket nozzle until you collect at least one shine sprite in the levels, because once you get that one shine sprite and get access to the rocket nozzle, you can use it from the very beginning of the level and clear everything else. And it's even better if there are Goonies on the map, because they count as platforms, and when Mario lands on a platform, he instantly gets his rocket fuel back, so he can land on a Goonie, shoot up, and then land on another one and continuously shoot up into the air. It's amazing. And really, it doesn't have to be Goonies either. It can be any enemy. As long as Mario can bonk on them, he'll get some of his recharge back. And also, if Mario shoots through platforms, then he also gets his recharge back. Basically, what I'm saying is the rocket nozzle is the greatest thing ever, and I wish it was in more games. The turbo nozzle is also pretty good just for like continuous vertical mobility in any direction without needing a charge from the rocket nozzle. And with these two nozzles, it kind of makes the hover nozzle sort of useless, though it can be used and is used afterwards in very narrow parts of levels, or in sections where when you use the rocket nozzle, you bonk your head and go straight down. Also, you can use the hover nozzle when diving to propel yourself forward, but once you get the turbo nozzle, it just does that way better. Sort of sad that the hover nozzle becomes completely obsolete after the first Bowser fight. Speaking of Bowser fights, we should talk about the second Bowser fight, because Bowser in the Lava World, or whatever it's called, I forgot. I really don't like lava in this game. It's so annoying. So Mario is very floaty in this game. This is a very bouncy platformer. Mario is almost always in the air, and bouncing off of enemies makes you stay in the air for a pretty long time. And lava shoots you up really far, and the only way for Mario to recover from being hit by lava is if he bounces twice on solid ground. This becomes a problem because enemies don't count as solid ground, and it's really easy for Mario to bounce off of any enemy nearby, making lava almost impossible to recover from if you only have like moving platforms to work off of that constantly go into the lava. And this will become important later on, I'm not just saying that. And this second Bowser fight is sort of a good example of how Super Mario 63's level design is at its worst, which is really, really annoying. It's not difficult, it's just really annoying to get through. And another fun fact, Bowser Red coin shines send you back to the castle, so you have to do the entire level over again once you collect it. This will be annoying in the second and especially third Bowser fight. Anyway, Bowser's obtained the Orb of Power off screen. Oh no, that was his next objective after the ambush. He has the Orb of Power, so now he's gonna destroy the Mushroom Kingdom because the Orb of Power can summon a meteor, killing everything on Earth. Not exactly sure why he wants to do this, but whatever, we'll find out later. Of course, all of the Toads in the Mushroom Kingdom are sort of panicking because Bowser made an announcement to everyone that he's going to destroy the Earth. And he's gonna do it in 2 days, so you gotta think quick about what you're gonna do, which should be #1 priority, stop Bowser. But how are you gonna stop Bowser? Invading his castle is gonna be really hard. This Toad over here mentioned that his family went to Bowser's castle for vacation, and it's really difficult to sneak in there, and nobody can really think of any other means to get into Bowser's castle. If only there was like a giant launching device that could shoot Mario straight into there. But I don't think those exist at all, so I guess we will never know how to get into Bowser's castle. Guess everyone's gonna die. Anyways, the top part of the castle has been unlocked, so Mario goes around running there, collecting more power stars, shine sprites, and he finds a launch star that takes him to a different part of Bowser's castle, where Kamek is venting about how she got fired from being second in command, and also talking about how mad she is that Bowser just never really treats her that fairly, with a cute little cutscene to the first Yoshi's Island where baby Bowser is stomping on her. Anyways, Kamek has come to the conclusion that the Orb of Power with random Japanese letters on it has possessed Bowser and made him evil, and that's why he wants to destroy the Earth. So it's up to Mario to stop Bowser and destroy the Orb of Power or whatever, I don't know. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but there are 2 Kamek levels where you have to survive Kamek's enemy spam, where she will constantly throw Goombas and Bob-ombs at you until she gets bored and flies away. She does this twice, and both of the times are extremely annoying. I'm not really a fan of these parts of the levels just because of the hitboxes. It's impossible to tell where they are. It's clearly not the enemies themselves, though I don't know. The contact damage in this game is the enemy and just the air around it. Anyways, upon defeating Kamik in the first Kamik survival level, you get the green shine sprite that lets you access the basement, and in this one, she gives you the red shine sprite, which lets you access the endless staircase. Yep, it's here in Super Mario 63, and it gives you access to Bowser in the final area. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's just called Bowser's Castle. Before going to Bowser's Castle, I should also mention that there's also Castle Secret Stars. This game is obsessed with placing secret stars everywhere, and they're still shine sprites, not stars. In total, there are 12 secret stars, and a lot of them are levels, and they're pretty fun levels, I gotta admit. I really like the secret star levels, just they're all really good. The exploration part of this game is really fun, and I just like looking for the secret stars, and sometimes you'll just find the secret stars by pure accident. It's really funny. There's also secret corridors in the castle. You know the FNAF 3 vent system? Yeah, that's in Super Mario 63. There are so many secret tunnels in this castle. You can just go in one direction and end up in a totally opposite area of the castle from where you started. It's really funny, and it's fun to look through all of these different areas. And another fun part about exploration is the star coins. The star coins are really fun to collect. Just like how there's 64 shine sprites, there's also 64 star coins. And when you collect star coins, you unlock more parts of the level editor. Yes, there's a level editor. And you also get access to 4 rooms. 2 of the rooms give you shine sprites. One of the rooms lets you play as Luigi. Yes, you can play as Luigi. And another room sends you to the mushroom, which has a bunch of 1-up mushrooms everywhere, and there's a lot of boxes that are filled with 100 coins. It really lags the game out when you break a bunch of them. It's really funny. Also, if you do get access to the Luigi, you can get access to the final castle secret star by doing a triple jump on top of the castle. This is supposed to be an area that you can only get access to when you have 63 shine sprites, so it's the final level. But for reasons I can't get 63 shine sprites, or at least I can't get all of them. So another way is to triple jump as Luigi on top of the castle and get a wing cap and fly off into this next secret star. The final secret star of the game is a really long level filled with challenges testing you on your mechanical knowledge of the game. I really like this part of the level. This is one of my favorite levels in the game. It can get fairly annoying with some of the enemies having really long hitboxes outside of their bodies. I'm still mad about that. But overall, Secret of the Shine Sprite is a really cool level, and it's definitely the most difficult level in the entire game. And I think that's really cool. I wish there was more of it. If only there was a way to play levels made by other people to test me further on my mechanical knowledge of this game. I sure do wish. Anyway, let's get on to the final level of Super Mario 63 in the story, Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle is also a gauntlet of challenges, but it's sort of less of a challenge than, well, it's sort of the same difficulty as Secret of the Shine Sprite. Anyways, Bowser's Castle is a very long level, and it's really annoying to get through more than once. I had to go through this level 4 times. I don't want to talk about the level itself too much. Just know there's a lot of lava and small corridors, and it's really easy for Mario to never recover from lava damage, and it's super annoying. Anyways, getting to the top of the castle, Bowser is in his clown car. You do a little fight, and then he gets destroyed completely. Nah, JK, that was just his robot replica. And then there's a little warp pipe that can send you back to the castle, and you can skip to that section of the level again if you want to. Really nice of the game to do that, so you don't have to go through the rest of the level. Anyways, there's still some more level to go, so now you have to chase after Bowser at the top of his castle, and you're in space now, and you're doing platforming on very tiny spaces, and it's awesome. There's a bunch of bullet bills chasing after you. You're just going. It's great. I love this section of the level. This is my favorite level ever. Actually, no, there's another bullet bill level that I like more. But still, the space levels are really fun to run through. Anyways, when you get to the top of Bowser's castle, Bowser is waiting there for his orb of power to charge up and bring the meteor down to Earth to destroy everything. His castle will be intact because he has a giant shield around his whole castle that will protect him from the blast of the Earth being destroyed, so he'll rule over in dead rock. Of course, Mario doesn't want that, so he starts the fight with Bowser, and... oh no. So, here's a little fun fact about Mario 63. The Flash version of Mario 63 is sort of broken. I played this game on Ruffles since the game got taken down off of Newgrounds, so I had to emulate it. I didn't realize that Runo had Super Mario 63 as a file on his website, so I just decided to emulate Super Mario 63, and unfortunately, on Ruffle, and I'm assuming Newgrounds as well, the final boss is bugged, so Mario is stuck at the top of the map, and he can't do anything. You can't move at all, you can't die at all, because you get your HP back at the beginning of the fight, so you can't do anything, and you're permanently stuck there, or you're soft locked there. You cannot beat the game. So sad. Though, since Runo has Super Mario 63 downloadable on his website, I decided to download that and try it on that. And luckily, the final boss worked. It's awesome. And I'm really glad too, the final boss is really awesome. You fight Bowser in space while a giant meteor is crashing down. A bunch of little meteors are falling down and destroying everything. And you throw Bowser at bombs spinning around the arena. This is the coolest thing ever objectively. The fight can get a little annoying because it's hard to aim Bowser in this, but whatever, it's awesome. I'm fighting Bowser in space and throwing him around. After Mario defeats Bowser, Kamek reveals that you can't stop the Orb of Power, it's still going to bring down the meteor and destroy everything, but what Kamek can do is make it so that the meteor is trapped inside of Bowser's castle and then enclose a shield around it, so the blast is only contained in Bowser's castle, completely eviscerating it. So that's what Kamek does, and she tries to fly Mario and Peach home, but Mario, unfortunately, gets knocked off of Bowser's castle, and now he has to make a run for it. And watching the meteor come crashing down on Bowser's castle as Mario is running through all of the debris in this, it's awesome. I love this part of the level, it's so cool. I love flash animations, they always go insane. I love it so much. I will never get enough of seeing a meteor crash down on Bowser's castle. It's so funny. And the level is good too! I like how it's built, I like how there's just enemies everywhere. The enemy spam actually makes sense. It's cool, I like it. Anyway, Mario goes onto a launch star and then he shoots on out back to Peach's castle. And the day is saved once again by Mario. And then the game ends with all the Toads and Peach having a party and getting some cake. Yeah, it's a good day. Woohoo! Yeah, everybody's saved. And then the credits roll. This game is extremely fun with its platforming. I love this game so much. I don't know how to encourage it more to play this game, but I can encourage playing the custom levels. We should actually go over some. Yeah, I don't think these are gonna load. Okay, so you're gonna have to download the custom levels from Runo's website, or from the Discord server that Runo promoted that has custom Super Mario 63 levels. That's a bit unfortunate, but whatever. So at the time of this recording, this is just like an editor's note, so I don't really have too much time to talk about the custom levels. I won't do that, but I might check them out later on and make something about that. Plus, I just wanted to focus on the main game. I just realized that I never talked about the Toads. The Toads are an amazing addition. The dialogue in this game is very funny, and it's really fun to interact with Toads, and you unlock more Toads to talk to the longer you play the game and more shine sprites you unlock. That's all I have to say about the Toads. In conclusion, Super Mario 63 is a really fun fan game. It's a really fun game in general. It's a great platformer, and I want anybody that's watched this far to play it. It's not that long. It's like 9 or 10 hours if you want 100% completion. It's a fairly short game, and it's really fun to run through. I'm not really sure what Reno is doing nowadays. I probably should have checked before recording this segment, but I hope he's doing well, and I just hope anybody that sees this decides to pick up Mario 63, whether they've played it before or they've never played it at all before. I hope just anyone plays it. If you want to play the game all the way through and actually beat the game, then don't play it on Ruffle, play it by downloading the game through Reno's website, though the one downside to doing that is that the gameplay looks like this. There's supposed to be black borders on each of these sides, but that just doesn't happen on the Flash version for some reason. I don't know why. That's the only downside I'd have to say. That's all I have to say about Super Mario 63. I don't know what I'm gonna make my next video on. I was gonna say it's gonna be a PS2 game, but, lag. So, I guess, next video is Toho Games on Scratch, I don't know. Why did I say that?